The beef between Eminem and Suge Knight is a rare tale of the white guy taking on a notorious figure, often considered a boogeyman, who had even the toughest gangster rappers trembling.
M had inherited Dr. Dre's beef by signing with Dre. M was now the prodigy of Dr. Dre. Dre left Death Row. Suge didn't like that. Dre getting back on. Got this white rapper that's ended up being the best rapper in the fucking world. Suge had a problem with it. He was like, you know what? That kid need to be with us over at Death Row. And M was cut off on his way to the seat, and all these guys in red shirts surrounded him. And I'm looking at M's face, and I'm looking at these guys. I'm like, shit, somebody right.
What was Eminem saying during all that?
He was like, man,
Shit.
M was like, this motherfucker's trying to kill us, man. What are they trying to do? What do they want? I don't understand. What do they want? I say, hey, man, they want you to sign with them instead of being with Drake.
Back in the 1990s, Suge was a truly intimidating figure, a massive 6'2" bearded man weighing about 300 pounds and associated with the notorious mob Peru Bloods gang. It's no wonder people were afraid of him. But Suge Knight wasn't just about brute strength. He was also a talented athlete during his younger years. He attended Linwood High School, where he excelled in both football and track. His talents were so impressive that major college football scouts were eager to have him join their teams. He played college football and even made it to the NFL, which speaks volumes about his abilities. However, despite his athletic success, Suge couldn't escape the pull of the streets. His coach wisely advised him against signing with the University of Southern California due to its proximity to trouble. But even after choosing the University of Las Vegas, he couldn't avoid getting entangled in hood-related matters. Eventually, he signed with the LA Rams, but unfortunately, his coach there didn't think he was good enough, leading to Suge being benched. This decision didn't sit well with him, and it added to the tensions that would later escalate into the infamous beef with Eminem. After making up his mind, Suge decided to quit football, despite his family's pleas for him to stay on the team. It was a turning point for him, and he decided to change his appearance, ditching his hair and going bald. This seemed to mark a transformation as he delved further into the world of gangsters. Suge ventured into various career paths, first becoming a concert promoter and then a bodyguard. However, his time as a bodyguard was relatively short-lived. In 1989, Suge took a different direction and started his own music publishing company. As time went on, he gained a reputation as a fixer. One of his early successes in this role came when he helped resolve a dispute between his client, Mario Johnson, and Vanilla Ice over royalties for the song Ice Ice Baby. This marked the beginning of Suge's career as a fixer in the music industry.
Suge took me out on the balcony, started talking to me personally.
On the balcony,
On the balcony,
high above.
like 15 floors. He had me look over the edge, show me how high I was up there.
You scared?
I needed to wear a diaper on that day. I was very scared.
More opportunities followed when the rapper DOC wanted to leave Ruthless Records. He sought Suge's help, and in the process, Suge connected with other members of NWA. During this time, he discovered that Dr. Dre also wanted to part ways with NWA. Once again, Suge successfully resolved their issues, and as a result, Death Row Records was born in 1991.
Death Row's in the house!
Death Row can be bigger than Motown or Sony or Warner Brothers.
Death Row's gonna be the biggest record company there is.
The master plan was to take over the world.
In just 6 years, Suge managed to rise from a bodyguard to become a label executive. Death Row Records became the label that other record labels aspired to emulate. In that short span, Death Row released 3 of the most iconic hip-hop albums ever.
And one other thing I'd like to say, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing, come to Death Row.
The Chronic, released in December 1992, and Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, released in November 1993, were both massive hits. Doggy Style even debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. Furthermore, in 1995, Tupac Shaker was released from jail, adding even more firepower to the label's roster. Overall, Death Row Records' success and impact on hip-hop during this period remain unparalleled, leaving a lasting legacy in the music industry. In the 90s, Death Row Records continued to thrive with releases like Tupac's All Eyes on Me, solidifying him as one of the biggest stars of the era. Suge Knight had become a powerful figure in the music industry, but despite his success, he couldn't entirely leave behind his violent tendencies. He dealt with mistakes from his employees in an aggressive manner, leading to several legal troubles and jail sentences. As time went on, Death Row's reputation for violence grew due to the association with gang members and individuals with shady backgrounds. Dr. Dre, feeling uncomfortable with this image and the people involved, decided to leave the label, and Suge made sure Dre left without his publishing or masters, causing a contract dispute.
All these people around me, how many of them do I really need?
Dr. Dre then founded Aftermath Records and signed Eminem, who would go on to become one of the most successful rappers of the 2000s.
You have a multi-million-dollar company, maybe worth $1 billion or so, and you own it 100% and don't have a partner, and you'd have to give him nothing. But his walking papers, that's great.
A lot more than the public knows. The record business is, to me, the worst business you can be involved in, because any Joe Schmo from off the block can make a record, which means you're going to have more cutthroats involved and more shiesty people.
Eminem's success led to a decline for Death Row Records, especially after the tragic murder of Tupac.
It was mostly just the way the studio was, and that's where I have to spend most of my time.
This East Coast, West Coast nonsense is just getting ridiculous, It's just like another form of black-on-black crime.
Suge was not happy with Eminem's achievements and tried to intimidate him on multiple occasions.
I've been so many places, I've seen so many faces, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple hills. I climbed the highest mountain, once or twice, but who's counting? But nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple hills. Cool, calm.
During the Source Awards in 2001, Suge's presence loomed over Eminem.
M was walking to his seat, I'm standing off to the side, and M was cut off on his way to his seat, and all these guys in red shirts surrounded him. And I'm looking at M's face, and I'm looking at these guys. Shit, something ain't right.
And an incident involving Suge's associates and Eminem's bodyguard, Big Nas, took place. Eminem and Suge's conflicts continued as Eminem signed his protege, 50 Cent.
You see all these guys talking about death row, motherfucker, death row. Death row, motherfucker, death row. So by the time I cut in, I step in front of M, I push the guys back. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on here, man? He said, death row, motherfucker, this death row about, this death row life. I was like, death row, what does it got to do with him? He said, hey man, Suge sent him a message.
Suge Knight was eventually incarcerated for multiple offenses.
I got him up out of there, took him backstage. So now, backstage, I'm calling Dre's bodyguards. I called Dre, and look, man, we got a serious issue, man. Death Row is here, and they trying to fight. They trying to do whatever they gonna do.
While Eminem continued his rise to becoming not just a prominent rapper, but one of the biggest artists globally.
What was Eminem saying during all this?
He was like, man,
shit.
It was like, this motherfucker's trying to kill us, man. What they trying to do? What do they want? I don't understand. What do they want? I say, hey, man, they want you to sign with them instead of being with Drake.
What do you think of Eminem? Is that what do you think of white rap?
Well, I don't see one thing about something. The ghetto is colorblind on a sense. If you really from the ghetto and you really doing those things you rapping about and you talking about, I can respect that.
Right.
But if somebody else writing your rhymes, somebody else is you telling somebody else's story, that really don't mean nothing to me.
The music industry is a mixture of talent, success, and sometimes turmoil.
Yeah. Like I was like, what happened? I remember the time. Actually, it's funny because he showed up in the club video shoot. He came. It was like, Suge's outside. Suge's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropping shit. Like, man, everybody going, I'm in front of the camera like this.
And the story of Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Death Row Records is a testament to that.
Suge came in with 30 Mexicans, like you said.
There you go.
Which is weird, you know what I'm saying?
He always wrong with the Mexicans.
You know what I'm saying? And I just remember Smurf and 50 was like, what's up, man? What you want to do?
Bang him.
Yeah, Bang was like, what you want to do? And Suge looked at him, and he took a puff of his cigar, and he blew it out, and he did like this, and he left.
How about it? He came with the 50 Mexicans, and M was out there. M didn't back down. They said niggas came outside. He came with 50 Mexicans.